What's going on, y'all? H-Star here, going to be talking about this whole situation regarding DJ Envy and his wife, which at first I wasn't going to talk about it because I didn't think this was going to be something everybody was going to talk about. It's about this viral clip that went around from the Shade Room of an interview that they did.
Faking it in a real relationship. That chapter is about the fact that we got together so young. He was my first, he was my only. And I was very inexperienced aside from sex. You know, before him, the furthest that I'd ever gotten was second base.
Yeah.
You know, before him went up my shirt, and I thought that was a big deal. So we were both turtles in our relationship. We waited to have sex till our 1-year anniversary, and he made it very special and, you know, romantic. But we were two kids that, you know, didn't really know what we were doing exactly, but we had fun figuring each other out. Most young girls, and even many women, I'm sure so many women can relate, but you don't know how to achieve an orgasm.
Yeah.
A lot of women have no idea what it feels like to have an orgasm through sexual intercourse. You know, they know how to do it themselves, or they know how to do it through oral sex, but through sexual intercourse, a lot of women just don't know. Now, if you don't know, how do you expect your man to know?
Mm-hmm.
I especially didn't know. So we would be intimate and he would be putting his best foot forward. Like, he is in the business of satisfying, just all around.
All right.
Just I'm talking about your mentality overall.
Just
like,
all around.
And I want to preface by saying this is the full clip, and I don't want to like put out the clip that went viral and a bit out of context.
In life, like, he lives to make me happy, and he puts his best foot forward in that realm. So I would see him trying and really going to work, and I'm sure so many women can relate. Like, you want to reward that man for that work, and the only reward that you have to offer is an orgasm. But even if I didn't feel it, I would still be performative. So yes, I was faking it. But once you start, how do you stop?
Right.
How do you climb back out of that rabbit hole? You can't really have a conversation about it now. So I actually did it to myself. But what's more important is the fact that it had nothing to do with him.
Right.
He was doing everything that a man could do to please a woman. The problem was that I didn't know my own body. And
you couldn't communicate what exactly you wanted.
Exactly. I had to learn that first. And what the problem was, I was so busy performing and putting on a show that I didn't take the time to be pleased. I didn't take the time to enjoy it because that wasn't my priority. My priority was him. And that comes from a place where, you know, ever since we're young, we're sold these false narratives that women are sex objects. Women are here for the pleasing of men. Women are toys. You see it on billboard ads. You see it on the cover of books. You see it in, you know, car magazines. You see it everywhere. Sexy women draped across something, advertising something. So we're kind of subconsciously led to believe those things. And for me, this is how it played out in my life.
And everything is all good there now, right?
Oh yeah, he's awesome. I figured out my problems.
Okay.
Hurt my heart though. I ain't gonna lie. I hurt my heart. I might have cried a couple of times, but it helped our relationship even better.
But on a more serious note, me doing that was very, very detrimental, and it put.
Now I'm not sure if they're about to say that this was a problem that they had that is now fixed, but let's continue.
Into effect the fall of a series of dominoes that hurt our relationship in the absolute worst way. It was actually one of the reasons why he cheated.
Oh.
So do you feel like, so how did that conversation?
Okay, so he cheated. He did cheat. Oh, okay.
Conversation even come about? Like, Envy, where you were like, am I not performing enough? Or were you at some point like, you're not performing enough? Or like, how did that come about?
One night we were in bed and we were having sex, and she was just, I remember in the middle of it, she was like, yes, but no. And I'm like, yes, but no what?
Something like that.
Yes, but no what? And she was like, we got into like a argument, and then she was like, well, you know, I don't be having an orgasm. She didn't say it in that. She speaks way more eloquent than I would have. And I was like, what? And she was like, I don't. I'm like, no, yes, you do. I hear it. Like, yeah, and then she was like, no.
This part of.
I'm like, every time.
This is the part of the interview that was taken out of context, by the way.
And she was like, yeah. And then that just crushed me because I thought I was putting in work. Like I'm sitting there thinking I'm, Big Daddy Long Leg, you know what I mean? Like, and she's sitting there like, no, not at all. So it really hurt my heart. Like it hurt me because for that time, I thought I was pleasing my wife. I thought I was pleasing, you hear all these stories of women talking about their girlfriend. Oh girl, he was so short. Oh girl, he ain't doing nothing. And I feel like they laughing. Now I feel like that's what my wife was doing.
Yeah. Yeah. But the way that it came out, we had gotten into an argument. And when I was trying to resolve the argument, he tried to slap the Band-Aid of sex over it. And he had done that so many times before. Like, let me just give us some.
That conversation.
Let me just give us some.
Take this D and shut up. That.
I actually think that's the most toxic. A lot of people love like makeup sex. And in my opinion, I feel like it's the most toxic thing ever. And
we had quite a bit of makeup sex.
Yeah.
And I was over it that day. So I'm like, we didn't even get to the bottom of it.
Yeah, you got to talk about it, and then you can make up with the sex.
You have to get to a point of understanding.
Right.
Then you can have happy makeup sex. But I was having disgruntled makeup sex. And I'm laying there and I'm thinking to myself like, and then it just came out. So what I did, which was wrong, was I weaponized it. There was a time and place for me to communicate how I had felt. There was a way in which to do it. And that is not the decision that I made. I did it to hurt him. I did it to spite him. And it made our relationship that much more toxic because now I have a husband with a bruised ego who's looking at me as a wife who's a liar and who not only lied, but lied to him for years. And in the most delicate part of your
relationship. How long had you guys been together when you had that conversation?
At that point, I think we were married for, we're in this house.
That was our Kittelon house. It was the other house.
It was the other house. It was when we were on a lease.
Yep.
16, 17, maybe 17 years ago. So we were probably 10 or 11 years into our marriage. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you remember where the bedroom,
I
we
remember
sat
the
there and
the
had
house.
the conversation. It was the house prior to the one that we're living in now. So yeah, no, it was a long time ago. But let me tell you something. It had years of consequences.
Okay, so I still am wondering, like, was this a problem that did happen, but they at this point kind of worked on it and got through it and found a solution for it, which if that's the case where they got a solution for the problem, then I can understand why DJ Envy and his wife would be so open about it. Now, if this was a situation where they was continually working through it, then I wouldn't have even went on the shade room. But if it was just me, I wouldn't have wanted to go in the goddamn shade room and we got problems, especially in the bed. No, we not going to no goddamn shade room. We going to the therapist, okay? We seeking help. We are not going to the shade room for help. And I kind of, and this is just another example why celebrities need to keep their private lives private. Because that little bit of clip of footage that went viral that shade room put out, it kind of painted DJ Envy in a negative way. But I'm gonna be honest with you. If a woman tells you, like that gotta be the worst thing to tell a man, that you ain't satisfying him. That's worse than telling a man that, hey, I've been cheating on him. It's way worse than that. Now it looks like that a relationship is still strong, that they got through it, or there's still a work in progress. I don't know about y'all, but the marriage would probably be over and done with for me. But let me know what y'all think about this whole situation in the comments. Next time, it's been A-Stalk here, and I'm out. Peace.